Tonight, a dump truck veers out of control.
I came outside and the whole place was like a crime scene.
Slamming into vehicles in a residential neighborhood in Barrhaven, one resident's incredibly close call. Doing the cottage without the campfire.
We have had 26 complaints for burn complaints since the fire ban. I consider that quite large. We shouldn't have any.
Sweeping bans and restrictions in this area as fire crews further afield battle tirelessly. And if it's too hot for you, it may be too hot for your car, too.
We've experienced a lot of vehicles overheating on the side of the road. We've had a couple that have actually caught on fire.
Maintaining your vehicle to avoid a breakdown under the sizzling summer sun. Good evening. We begin tonight with breaking news. Several vehicles and properties sit damaged in Barrhaven after a dump truck driver lost control on a residential street, smashing into a number of cars. It happened mid-morning on Apolloon Street off Cambrian Road. CTV's Stefan Keys joins us now with the latest on this, Steph.
Patricia, residents in the area might still be feeling a little rattled tonight. There were some terrifying close calls. Some people say they were in their cars just moments before the dump truck came pummeling through. And as you can see, some of these vehicles are totaled. We don't know a lot about what led to the collision, but it is important to note paramedics suspect the medical event that led to the driver losing control could be heat-related. And if that's so, it's another stark reminder of the dangers of these high temperatures. Even then, as the investigation continues, just listen to how residents describe hearing the truck speeding down the street before ramming into everything in its path.
We just heard it, and it was really loud. It was really fast, and we heard the engine rev, so he was flooring it. And it was like, okay, and then we heard the bang, and it was like, okay, that's not right. And when all we saw was like dust and smoke, and I was like, that's our car to the right. It should be here. But yeah, there's diesel all over it. It's ruined. The whole car is just ruined.
Me and my sister were really close to the car to leave, and just so it happened. So it was kind of scary.
You were almost going to get into your car?
Yeah, we were all dressed to leave.
So we had come outside. I grabbed some stuff from the car. I went inside to take a shower. And then I heard this loud bang. I thought my sister fell. I came outside and the whole place was like a crime scene.
At least 5 vehicles are damaged, some a total write-off. Thankfully, no bystanders were injured. But if this crash was just seconds earlier or later, as you heard, that may not have been the case. The dump truck driver was taken to hospital in stable condition, and Ottawa police did confirm they are investigating, but did not provide any other information. Patricia.
CTV's Stefan Keys reporting live for us tonight, and we do have extended coverage of the dump truck crash in Barrhaven. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Well, as wildfires rage across Canada, a warning here. Officials say flames can spark up at any moment given these dry and hot conditions. There's an extreme risk for wildfires in rural parts of Ottawa and in the surrounding communities right now. And fire crews are urging people to be extra vigilant. CTV's Austin Lee joins us live now with more on this. Austin.
Well, Patricia, sweeping fire bans are in place in Ottawa, across eastern Ontario, and in western Quebec. And despite some rain in the forecast, we likely won't see those restrictions lifted anytime soon.
You know, it's hard. Mosquitoes, they get in the way a lot, but you know, kids love having fires. Everyone likes having bonfires, but you know how hot it is, how dry it's outside, and you got to be careful.
Camping may not feel quite the same without a campfire, but right now it's just not worth the risk. And so burn bans are in place.
Obviously, it's a smart idea because obviously it would be a big deal if the forest caught on fire with all the campers and everything.
The entire region is under extreme fire danger, according to Natural Resources Canada, with officials urging caution.
Cigarette butts can be a huge risk factor. Just hot engines of small engines, lawnmowers, that kind of thing, can easily spark a fire when things are this dry.
In Ottawa, a fire ban was put in place last week, and while most people are respecting the rules,
We have had 26 complaints for burn complaints since the fire ban. I consider that quite large. We shouldn't have any.
Since amalgamation, Ottawa fire crews are responsible for a large area, about 80% of which is rural. In its fleet, the fire service has 5 specialized brush trucks designed for fighting wildfires.
But we can't get complacent ourselves. So, in the rural area, we're constantly checking water levels. We're making sure our water fill sites are available.
And for homeowners, there are some tips to prevent possible fire damage. Trim and clear any plants near buildings. If you have a stockpile of firewood, make sure you keep it at least 10 to 30 meters away from any structures, and make sure you clean debris like leaves and pine needles from your gutters.
It won't take much when the conditions are this dry to start a fire.
Of course, this all comes as fire crews continue their efforts to contain a wildfire in Ontario's cottage country and Kawartha Lakes. Ottawa Fire Chief Paul Hutt says they are watching that situation and they are prepared to step up and help if they're called upon. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Austin Lee reporting live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, hot and dry out there in the brush, but on the beach, hot with an option to not stay so dry. Probably a lot of people choosing that as their destination today and tonight. That's where Jackie Perez is for us this evening.
Thanks, Patricia. That's right. We are hanging out at Britannia Beach. A lot of people cooling off down by the water. I've got my sunscreen on. We've been here for a couple of hours, and beach volleyball is going to be starting anytime soon now. The good news is there is a little bit of the cloud cover, so that is providing a little bit of relief, and there are cooler winds compared to what we saw yesterday. Right now, though, temperatures still feeling hot, hot, hot. 35 degrees here in Ottawa, but with that humidity feeling more like 42 across the region, most of it feeling closer to about 38, 39 as we look through eastern Ontario. Now, the heat warning still remains in place with humidex values still between 37 and 42 until later this evening, even possibly moving into tomorrow. A closer look as we look through across the country of how far this stretches. It goes from southern Ontario all the way to the Maritimes. So keeping an eye on these heat warnings as well. Closer look at this evening, 27 degrees. That's closer to midnight. So we're not going to get much relief as we look to the overnight with humidity feeling closer to 39. So probably don't want to have the windows open tonight. Maybe save that in the next couple of days where temperatures overnight lows are going to be closer to about 12, 13 degrees. Patricia, we'll have a closer look at the weather forecast in the next couple of days and for this and just after the break.
All right, Jackie, thank you. At a busy Britannia Beach tonight. Well, the extreme heat also having an impact on our vehicles. If you've noticed more cars breaking down on the side of the road, you're not alone. CAA is reporting a 15% increase in the number of calls for service. CTV's Katie Griffin is here with more on this. Katie.
Well, Patricia, this heat has been unrelenting, and it's among the reasons why CAA is so busy.
The extreme heat taking a toll on vehicles.
Most people don't realize in the hot weather is your battery is at risk. It's sitting underneath the hood. The temperature underneath your hood is increasing, so it actually cooks the battery.
CAA reporting a 15% increase in calls for service over this time last year.
Just general driving breakdown on the road, as well as like radiators and just heat-related, everything starts to break. It puts a stress on your vehicle.
CAA says there are a number of reasons behind the spike in calls for service, including this extreme heat. More people are traveling within Canada, and they're keeping older vehicles longer.
We've experienced a lot of vehicles overheating on the side of the road.
Ontario Provincial Police have been busy responding to vehicles that had broken down because of the heat, including one that caught fire on the 417. They say regular maintenance and checks are key.
One of the things you want to do is make sure that your fluids are all topped up in your vehicle, do the regular maintenance, have an emergency preparedness kit with you. You can purchase those in stores.
In the heat, everything has to work harder. CAA also says to check your tire pressure regularly and make sure your cell phone is fully charged in case you need to call for help. Patricia.
Those tires deflate in the heat just like we do.
Yes, exactly.
CTV's Katie Griffin live for us tonight. Thank you. And you can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on just how this extreme heat can impact your vehicle.
Still ahead, an exhausting battle in a vast section of Ontario cottage country. Fire crews in Kawartha Lakes now dealing with 4 active forest fires. That story coming up.
Ottawa police are investigating an alleged hate-motivated assault on a Muslim woman aboard an OC Transpo bus this week. The incident happened in Canada while the bus was traveling near March and Tarrant Roads Monday evening. The Canada Muslim Association says a young woman wearing a hijab was approached by a man who whispered an Islamophobic slur, slapped her, and threatened to kill her. Police are now looking for the suspect, a white man in his 20s or 30s with a beard and a thin build. Mayor Mark Sutcliffe says he has spoken with the victim's family, writing on social media, "I strongly condemn this act of violence and hatred. It has no place in our community. Everyone should feel safe while traveling on public transit or anywhere else in Ottawa." A young man is dead after a motorcycle crash near Luskville. Police were called to a section of Highway 148 near Chemin de la Montagne around 11:45 last night. The motorcycle driver, an 18-year-old from Gatineau, died in the collision. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. A Gatineau police officer is facing criminal charges in connection with a police response earlier this year. The alleged incident happened while Jonathan Levesque was responding to a call on June 9th. Few details have been released, but he is now facing charges of assault and uttering threats to cause death or bodily harm. The charges have not been proven in court. Brockville police are investigating after multiple vehicles were stolen from a local auto shop early Monday morning. Security alarms at Matt's Auto Service on Stewart Boulevard started going off around 2 a.m. Police say one vehicle was being driven away when they arrived. It was later found in a creek. Another car was found crashed into a road sign. A gray 2012 Buick Regal is still missing. No suspects have been found. One day after the Ottawa Senators and National Capital Commission signed a land purchase deal for LeBreton Flats, questions are swirling about how much it will all cost and who will pay for it. The sale paves the way for building a downtown NHL arena for the Sens. We don't know how much the 11 acres of land was sold for, but building the arena could cost up to $1 billion. Mayor Mark Sutcliffe says the deal is certainly exciting news, but says there's no plan to spend taxpayer dollars on the project.
I don't think there's an appetite for public dollars to go into an NHL hockey arena. There are other priorities that we're working on right now to invest in public assets, including recreation facilities, including Lansdowne Park, including roads and sidewalks and bike lanes. There are many, many other priorities that we're focused on right now, and I don't think the public wants us to write a check to support the construction of an NHL arena.
And there are still many steps before the building actually begins, including zoning, design approvals, and cleanup of the land. Well, turning now to the latest on the wildfires burning out of control in Newfoundland and Labrador, thousands of people living near St. John's have been ordered to evacuate tonight.
When you're telling people that, you're going to have to walk away from, everything you've worked for and all your earthly belongings pretty much in a moment's notice with no knowledge of whether they're going to be there when you get back is very concerning.
Some of those living in the suburb of Paradise, near the province's capital, were told to leave immediately. The area is home to about 23,000 people. The wildfire is burning roughly 15 kilometers south of St. John's. Officials say some homes have burned to the ground in the province. And in New Brunswick, a wildfire near Miramichi doubled in size overnight, and another burning near Moncton is still out of control. There's no structure damage in that province. Officials are urging residents to be prepared to evacuate at a moment's notice. We'll stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the wildfires burning across the country. For updates on radio, tune into News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News channel at any hour. A WestJet service is returning to normal tonight after system outages earlier today. Network-wide technical issues led to flight delays at airports here in Ottawa, in Toronto, Saskatoon, Montreal, and Calgary this morning. The issues were resolved by mid-morning, but travelers are urged to double-check the status of their flights. And Air Canada flight attendants could issue a strike notice as early as midnight tonight. And it appears things could be heading that way, with talks breaking down late this afternoon. The union, representing around 10,000 workers, declined a proposal from the airline to enter binding arbitration. Air Canada says negotiations are at an impasse. Flight attendants could walk off the job as early as Saturday. Well, thousands of Ottawa families will not have to worry about the cost of school supplies this fall. Volunteers were busy filling 6,500 backpacks at the Carlingwood Shopping Centre today. The Caring and Sharing Exchange says the need is at record levels. There are 700 families still on the wait list for supplies.
In previous years, there was certain communities that were more in need, given newcomers with the Ukraine crisis or Syrian war, but this year it's across the board.
Each backpack is filled with grade appropriate school supplies for local children whose families are facing financial hardship.
That forest is so thick, and with the debris on the ground, they can't actively access it.
And just ahead, we'll have more on the wildfires burning out of control in this province, in cottage country, as those flames continue to spread. Jackie.
Thanks, Patricia. We are hanging out at Britannia Beach, where the Ottawa Sports and Social Club beach volleyball is now underway. Katja, how often does the club meet?
We meet here from Monday to Thursday every week, all summer long, from 6 to 8.
We've had quite the summer with multiple heat waves throughout the past couple of months. You guys are out here every evening this week. How's that been? Has it been too hot?
It actually hasn't. With the breeze coming off the water, it's been great, and everyone gets a nice view of the sun, the beach, and they get to play volleyball, so it's kind of nice.
Getting all the fun of summer. Thank you so much. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam, where lots of people are enjoying the view at Kawartha Point, where temperatures are at 35 degrees, but with the humidity feeling closer to 42.
CTV Ottawa is your home for local news.
Katie Griffin, CTV News in the Byward Market.
Centertown.
Canada.
Stittsville.
Bringing you local stories that matter the most to you.
Kimberly Fowler in Westboro.
Orleans. Barrhaven.
From every corner of the community.
In the Glebe.
Manotick.
Merrickville.
Brockville.
From the team you trust, we are CTV News Ottawa.
Live, local, breaking news. CTV News Ottawa.
Well, taking a look at the roads on your Tuesday drive home. Looks a little hazy out there right now. Not terrible on the road. Slowdowns in some of the usual spots. Then portions of cottage country closer to Toronto crews continue to battle 3 wildfires. 2 of them remain out of control, as in our area, the persistent hot, dry conditions now prompting fire bans across several regions in the Greater Toronto area. CTV's Raheem Ladani has more.
You can see the large section of burned forest stretching across this area in Kirkfield Village within Kawartha Lakes, as crews continue their battle against a 33-hectare wildfire.
Personnel from the Halliburton Fire Management Headquarters are responding to the fire with 5 fire ranger crews and air attack. The fire is not under control.
Farms are actively moving their animals to safety, away from the grass fire that sparked Monday afternoon. That fire is now larger than another wildfire in Kawartha Lakes. After 3 days of battling, first responders say the 27-hectare forest fire between Bobcaygeon and Kinmount is contained, but still burning out of control. Officials believe an electrical storm is responsible for sparking the blaze, but say debris from an ice storm earlier this year continues to complicate firefighting efforts.
That forest is so thick, and with the debris on the ground, they can't actively access it.
As the wildfires north of Toronto continue to burn, several cities across the Greater Toronto area have issued fire bans. Ajax, Aurora, Newmarket, Oakville, Oshawa, Peterborough, and Richmond Hill have suspended all open-air burning until further notice.
All open-air burning, so you can still barbecue, but of course fireworks, any campfires or open fires, even people with active burn permits are canceled at this time. And if anybody sees anything, definitely call 911 or report the burning.
Residents are also being asked to use extreme caution while using propane or gas-powered equipment and to discard cigarette butts properly.
Into a metal container, and just before you go to bed, we ask that you just put some water in that container.
Violations of the bylaw could lead to charges under the Ontario Fire Code. Raheem Ladani, CTV News.
And as we know, those extremely dry and hot conditions are very similar here in Ottawa and will continue for a little bit. A heat warning still in effect, but we do have some relief on the way, even some rain in the forecast. Finally, as we take another look at the forecast from the beach. Jackie's perspective there at Britannia. Jackie?
Thanks so much, Patricia. Yeah, we are enjoying the heat right now, trying to cool off. Got my milkshake here, enjoying a little bit of beach volleyball. Maybe we'll take a dip in the water in a little bit, but like you said it, there will be relief on the way. Taking a look now at the heat warning is still in effect for most of Eastern Ontario, pretty much all of Eastern Ontario. You can see a little bit of rain activity making its way here into the province, but it's not going to quite hit us right now. Right now, temperature 33 degrees, feeling like 42. to partly sunny skies. So there is a little bit of cloud cover and cooler winds. This evening when the sun sets, the humidity is still sticking around and lingering. 36 is what it will feel like around 8 o'clock. And then tomorrow it'll start off hot and muggy, feeling more like 28. It's in the afternoon, daytime high about 29, 30 degrees. But we are expecting that there is a chance of some thunderstorms developing, especially with all this humidity accumulating in the area. Tonight's lows still a little bit uncomfortable, with temperatures sitting between 20 and 23 degrees for the overnight lows. Humidex values between 30 and 32. And there is a chance of pop-up showers overnight by the lake area. So keep an eye on that into the overnight early morning. As we look to tomorrow's highs, temperatures sitting between 40 and 43 when you factor in the Humidex value. So it's still going to be a hot, muggy day into our Wednesday. Atlantic Canada, as we look towards across the region, seeing similar temperatures as well. The effects of the heat dome really moving into Fredericton, Charlottetown, and Halifax. And much of southern Ontario is still under this heat warning. But as we make our way to the west, really parts of the prairies are much cooler, even though they are sitting in the mid-20s. They're not getting that humidity that we are experiencing here, though. But Calgary, Vancouver, still starting to get that warm air as well. So heat warning also under effect for parts of BC. So we are still trying to find ways to beat the heat. We did mention that our 7-day forecast, brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, they're celebrating over 80 years in family business. We did mention that we are expecting some showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms developing Wednesday afternoon. So keep an eye out. You may want your umbrella as well. And then into Thursday, already look at the overnight lows. Things are starting to trend to the cooler side. 28 the daytime high for Thursday. And then Friday, going into Friday, 12 degrees the overnight low. So really looking forward to that. Sunshine for our Friday and into our Saturday. Well, we might get some 33-degree temperature. But for the most part, Sunday, take a look, 24 with the overnight low of about 10 degrees. So Patricia, try to embrace this heat wave that we're having, because it will be breaking within the next 3 or 4 days. And I'm going to enjoy this milkshake till we see you next in a little bit.
Embrace it with a milkshake. Jealous. Thanks, Jackie.
My farm is roughly half canola. So today is very devastating news, obviously, to me.
Well, coming up, another blow to canola farmers in eastern Ontario and across Canada as China announces new tariffs. China is escalating its trade dispute with Canada, and canola farmers are once again caught in the middle. Massive anti-dumping duties are set to take effect on Thursday. CTV's Judy Trin has the latest on the retaliatory measures and the impact on farmers.
My farm is roughly half canola. So today is very devastating news, obviously, to me.
Andre Harp is one of 40,000 canola farmers in Canada who woke up to the news that China was imposing a 75.8% duty on the oilseed. Canola prices dropped $1 a bushel after the anti-dumping tariff was announced. More bad news for an industry contending with drought just weeks away from harvest.
Not only are we facing a yield loss, but at the same time, obviously now we're facing an income loss for whatever we do grow. So it's, right now this could be a double whammy.
In 2024, Canada exported $5 billion of canola to China. To justify its actions, China said that after conducting an investigation, it found that Canada was providing its farmers with unfair subsidies. This escalation has its roots in the former Liberal government's decision to impose tariffs on electric vehicles.
We will be introducing a 100% tariff on Chinese-made electric vehicles.
The previous government in Ottawa had done this to align its policy on China with that of Washington, but we didn't get any brownie points.
The canola industry generates more than $40 billion annually and employs 200,000 people. Saskatchewan's premier says that's bigger than the steel, aluminum, and auto industry combined.
Canola producers hit with these Chinese tariffs, I would say that they deserve the same attention by our federal government and our prime minister as we're seeing in other industries.
To improve the Canada-China trading relationship, Premier Mo says that the Prime Minister needs to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping as soon as possible. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, in tonight's big picture, one of the biggest meteor showers of the year is set to light up the skies. The Perseid meteor shower will reach its peak tonight and tomorrow. Stargazers will have the chance to see between 50 and 100 meteors an hour. during the dazzling celestial show. Experts say the Perseids are best viewed around 2 or 3 in the morning away from bright city lights. It's a good time for Stefan Keys to see those lights, maybe not for everyone else. Now, some other stories you need to know right now. Steph, a new poll shows the majority of Canadians support cuts to the federal public service.
That's right, Patricia. The polls are out. The numbers are here. Prime Minister Mark Carney has asked most government departments to find up to 15% in savings over the next 3 years, which experts say will result in widespread cuts. And according to a survey by Leger, more than half of Canadians think it's the right move. 54% of respondents want the size of the federal public service to be reduced, while just 24% say they want it maintained, and 4% say it should get bigger. 17% of people were not sure about what should happen. There's a new travel option in the Thousand Islands region. Flixbus has added a stop in Gananoque, connecting the city with Toronto, Kingston, and Ottawa. The new stop launched yesterday. There are 4 daily trips, 2 departures and 2 return. The low-cost bus service is expanding its routes across Ontario and Quebec this year. Ottawa Public Health is reminding people to protect themselves against mosquito bites after the first confirmation of West Nile virus in Ottawa this season. A mosquito pool tested positive this week. There are so far no confirmed cases of the virus in humans. Most people do not develop any symptoms if they are infected. About 20% experience flu-like symptoms, and less than 1% have serious complications. Girl Guides of Canada is suspending all travel to the U.S. in response to President Donald Trump's border policies. The pause comes into effect next month and will include previously approved and any future trips. The organization says the decision is about its commitment to inclusivity and the safety of its members. Trump has issued travel bans for visitors from 19 countries, and Girl Guides of Canada says that some of its members may hold citizenship from the affected countries. Our colleagues at Pure Country 94 are celebrating a big milestone. Today marks 1 year since the morning pickup with Ashley and Gord first went on the airwaves. The pair say they're now partners in radio and friends for life. The official anniversary party is taking place this Friday at Overflow Brewing Company. And what a duo they are. Definitely check out their show if you have a chance. Patricia, I'm going to forgive them for not getting an invite to the party, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, you know what, they probably checked the schedule and you are supposed to be here at work.
You're invited.
Am I invited?
But you do have a little shift in it, right? We're all invited here. I know I'm going.
Are you going?
But I probably won't get any chance to talk to Ashley and Gord because all the listeners will want to hang out with them. They are the coolest.
They are a lot of fun.
I love watching Gord down on the Red Blacks field as well. I would guess Jackie might show up there. Do you think Jackie might go? I mean, she's everywhere, hanging out on the beach right now with a pretty good gig. Jackie?
Hank, I hope you got some of that water to cool you off in studio. It is beautiful here right now. We got a little bit of cloud cover, got a little bit of a breeze coming along, so a lot of people really out enjoying this little bit of a heat wave in the water. One of them who's enjoying it, we've got Paul. Paul, you've got your grandkids and friends here. How are you enjoying the water?
I love the water. It's beautiful.
But what brings you down here to Britannia Beach today?
My son's playing volleyball, so I'm babysitting his kids.
All right, and what is it about Britannia Beach that you love so much? The grandkids love the water for sure.
The sand is beautiful here. It's excellent. The water is cool, refreshing. Can't ask for anything better.
How have you been coping with the heat wave? Because, I mean, tonight it's going to be what? Like, it's going to feel like 36 overnight. Are you okay with this heat?
Yeah, I love the heat. I'd take the heat over the cold any day, and I'm coping as best I can.
All right, love to hear that. Enjoy your time with the grandkids. I love seeing this. Do you have any advice for anyone back home and ways to keep cool if they cannot make it out here to Britannia Beach?
Take a cool shower.
Just like this right here. Thank you so much, Paul. Just a reminder that, that is one of the city beaches here. Ottawa lifeguards, they are here daily, 12 to 7, and they are going to be here until August 25th. So finding ways to keep cool, head down to a city beach or a wading pool as well as a city pool as well. We'll take it back to you in studio for now, Patricia.
You're just relaxing at the beach, trying to cool off in the water, and along comes Jackie Perez in the camera. Nothing's private. Jackie, thanks so much for this.
Want to talk? Yeah.
I'm going to be facilitating a dialogue on what steps do we need to still make to safeguard our languages.
Well, just ahead, we take a closer look at an event taking place right here in Ottawa this week to protect Indigenous languages in Canada.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, CTV Morning Live, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
To protect and preserve Indigenous languages here in Canada and right across the world. In Ottawa this week, a summit is taking place aimed at promoting and celebrating Indigenous languages and supporting language revitalization efforts. Joining us now to take a closer look at this is Robert Watt, Director of the Office of the Commissioner of Indigenous Languages. Thank you so much for being here. And you're speaking a little bit in your own language.
Yes, I'm speaking in my language, which is a dialect, a Nuptituk dialect from northern Quebec. And usually I want to start by saying my language.
And there may be some out there who understand you very well, but that's almost an amazing thing when you think about the history here in Canada and the history of the residential schools and some of the efforts to wipe out some of that culture and language. Where are we at now in terms of that revival?
From what I've experienced so far, we've been traveling and having regional and national gatherings throughout Canada. And it really shows that there's many people that are not staying idle. They're actually doing a lot of work trying to find ways to safeguard their languages. So it's really nice to see people are not just standing by. They're actually trying to find ways to strengthen, maintain, revitalize, or even reclaim their languages.
And this global summit that is happening right now in Ottawa that is underway, that took about 18 months to put together, brings a lot of different people from different countries together who are sharing some of that experience and maybe how to make that happen or the challenge in making that happen.
Always in mind that we're trying to be fair, that we're trying to be representative of three distinct groups, Inuit, First Nations, and Métis. So we're trying to allow these three distinct groups to be able to share and maybe to network with amongst each other.
And I would imagine what some of these young people who are attending this summit are hearing is some very powerful presentations, delegates who are sharing some personal experience, perhaps?
They even have their own MC in that top floor, whereby they're being challenged with very interesting questions, including how to find ways to strengthen their languages, even through art, through music, through games. So it's a whole floor that has games, that has areas where they could read books or make books. So it's very, very appealing, even to us adults. We want to be there and participate with the youth.
This is a global summit. How unique is the Canadian experience in this area? Are many other countries also sort of in that mode of revival?
I hear that this is the biggest language summit that has ever been exercised.
The first of its kind.
The first of its kind. I think the closest was around 1,500 participants in some of these events, but ours is 2,300 with 20 countries that are involved. It's the first time that Indigenous people within Canada, because Canada has approximately around 70 Indigenous languages, not including the dialects.
So many.
So there's many, and it's the first time that they've ever met, and we're very proud that we were able to host this event.
Robert, thank you so much for coming in today, and best of luck with the rest of the summit.
Thank you very much.
What I can tell you from the conversations that the Prime Minister has been having, the Minister of Foreign Affairs has been having, the Minister of International Trade has been having, the conversations I've been having, our allies are very interested in Canadian LNG.
Well, coming up, the federal government shares new details about its plan to move forward with what it calls nation-building projects, starting as early as this fall. Well, we are in the middle of another heat wave, and for those without air conditioning, it can be very difficult to stay cool. Many homeowners have made the switch to heat pumps, and while most seem to work just fine, some say they are not able to keep their houses cool. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
July and August have had dozens of days above 30 degrees Celsius with record-breaking heat. In this Mississauga home, Pramila and Ashok Glum say they've been running multiple fans in an effort to cool their house down, even though they bought a new heat pump system 2 years ago.
We had 6-7 fans in the house so that we can sleep overnight, and still it was a nightmare.
The Lums say the heat pump worked fine in the winter heating their home, but on extremely hot days, the temperature won't go lower than 29 degrees.
Last 2 weeks, when the weather was 35 degrees and 36 degrees outside, our house was 29 degrees, 30 degrees, 31 degrees.
The Lums say when they call the company that installed the heat pump, they do come. In fact, they've come 12 different times over the past 2 years, but they just can't seem to figure out what the problem is.
It's very hot, and they're giving us one excuse or the other.
The couple was told their furnace was compatible with a heat pump, but when the house wouldn't cool down, they were told they needed to replace it, even though it was only 7 years old.
And we ended up spending $4,500, which we didn't have to.
Ashok recently had heart and brain surgery. The couple says if the heat pump issue can't be repaired, they'd rather replace it with an air conditioner.
I want my money back so that I can go and get a regular air conditioner and keep my house cool.
CTV News contacted the company that installed the heat pump. They sent 3 technicians to try and resolve the problem and finally did. A spokesperson said performance issues can arise, and the primary concern was the heat pump's performance, a potential issue with the coil. The unit is now functioning properly, and we are reimbursing the couple $4,520 for the cost of the furnace. The Lums say their home is now cool, even during a heat wave.
Thank you very much, CTV, Pat Foran.
I'm so thankful to you all. I couldn't believe that things can go so fast.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Well, Canadians will start seeing new nation-building projects approved early this fall, according to the federal energy minister. In an interview with CTV's Vashi Kapelos on her iHeartRadio show, the minister shedding new light on the kinds of natural resource projects that could soon get the green light. CTV's Rachel Aiello reports.
I know there are buyers.
Canada's energy minister made it clear today that with multiple projects in the works and a global demand for cleaner energy, there's a market for Canadian liquefied natural gas that may help make the case for facilities to be fast-tracked through the new national projects process.
What I can tell you from the conversations that the Prime Minister has been having, the Minister of Foreign Affairs has been having, the Minister of International Trade has been having, the conversations I've been having, our allies are very interested in Canadian LNG.
A comment the natural resources sector welcomed.
More customers, more shipments, more LNG export facilities means more jobs for Canadians.
The minister said that as soon as the private sector, provincial governments, and Indigenous groups put forward projects, the federal government will start deciding which ones are in the national interest.
I would expect you would see a rolling set of announcements over the fall as different projects mature and meet the criteria.
While stating the government remains committed to its climate objectives, the minister wouldn't rule out easing federal emissions targets to move these projects forward.
Well, the LNG emissions math is inescapable. So these projects in Canada result in significant increase in emissions. Like one project is equal to about 1 million cars.
Minister Hodgson said that he's focused on results and not how we get there, indicating the powers Cabinet now has through Bill C-5 allows him to deal with any issues that arise. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
So I wanted to show you something.
Are you ready for it? Just ahead, we'll have the details on a big announcement from one of the world's biggest pop stars. Jackie.
Thanks, Patricia. Well, we've done a little bit of the water, beach volleyball. Now we're just enjoying the sun along with Hannah. And who do you have here with you today?
I have my grandparents, my brother, my mom, and my dad.
All right, and how did you enjoy the water today?
It was really good. It was refreshing.
Refreshing, and she got some mango slices here to cool off as well, so we'll get you to enjoy those as we take a look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, looking out at Spark Street, where the sun continues to shine all throughout downtown Ottawa, and here at Britannia Beach too. Temperatures sitting at 33 degrees, but feeling more like 40 with the humidity.
Hey, Ottawa, know someone who secretly makes our city amazing? We want to hear about them.
You know, the kind of person who goes above and beyond without ever asking for anything in return.
Because Move 100, CTV, and Lazy Boy want to give them a huge shout-out.
We're searching for Ottawa's unsung heroes, the everyday people doing extraordinary things. Nominate someone for a chance to win them a $5,000 Lazy Boy gift card.
Nominate your local hero today.
Let's celebrate those who make Ottawa a better place.
Wednesday on CTV Morning Live, we are checking out Ottawa's newest smoked meat shop. We introduce you to Smoked Royale in our daily dish.
And Rosie got a chance to check out the Canadian Agriculture and Food Museum. She visits with some of the animals that live at this local gem.
Woo! Wake up the right way with CTV Morning Live. It all starts at 6 a.m.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
All right, it is Amazing Race Canada night on CTV tonight. But before that, we've got E-Talk, a few episodes of The Big Bang Theory after the Amazing Race battle of the generations. Well, here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
We just heard it, and it was really loud. It was really fast, and we heard the engine rev, so he was flooring it. And it was like, okay, and then we heard the bang, and it was like, okay, that's not right.
A dump truck smashing into several parked cars in Barrhaven, the driver losing control during an apparent medical incident.
You know, kids love having fires. Everyone likes having bonfires, but you know how hot it is, how dry it's outside, and you got to be careful.
Fire officials are urging residents to be vigilant with these dry conditions, creating an extreme wildfire risk in the rural areas of Ottawa and Eastern Ontario.
Most people don't realize in the hot weather is your battery's at risk. It's sitting underneath the hood. The temperature underneath your hood is increasing, so it actually cooks the battery.
And this is the other thing, the extreme heat also leading to more vehicle breakdowns. CAA reporting a 15% spike in calls for service. They were spiking some balls out at Britannia Beach earlier, a whole lot of volleyball happening there. That's where Jackie has been watching the weather, although not so actively right at the moment for us, Jackie.
Not quite. I am looking around, though. There are some darker clouds just across the river on the Quebec side, but we are keeping a close eye on that. We should expect clear conditions for the overnight and into tomorrow, where, yes, the humidity is likely going to stick around. As you head out the door, 21 is the start to our day, but it's going to feel closer to 28. We've got some westerly winds slowly making its way in, so we are getting some cooler air. That's the good news. So daytime high for Wednesday will be 30 degrees, and then Thursday will be 28, and then into the overnight Friday will be much more comfortable. Seasonal temperatures for the overnight lows at 12 degrees, 29 for our Friday. And yes, it's going to be a little bit warmer for Saturday, but then by Sunday, Monday into early next week, heat is going to break and we're going to get back into seasonal conditions. So try to get as much beach days as you can. Fall, I feel like, is just around the corner. I know we're in the middle of August, Patricia and Stefan, but again, just before we know it, the summer is going to be over. So splash away, enjoy. We'll take it back to you.
I remember asking one of my daughters when she was about 6 what she wanted to be when she grew up, and she said a tourist. I didn't know that was an option. This would also be a good option.
That's a great
I want to be a
option.
Jackie.
That's right. Oh, my goodness. Just come back and do weather for me tonight at 11:30.
Splash.
My goodness.
Yes, Steph is here at 11:30. What is our team working on for the late newscast, Steph?
Well, we're working on quite a bit, Patricia, and some students in our region are back in the classroom today with the French Catholic Board in our region getting back to business. But when it comes to some elementary level educators in this province slated to go back in September, they are launching a heavy push to keep class sizes in check. It's an age-old debate that goes back to even when I was in elementary school at W.E. Gowling here in Ottawa. But according to the union, it can't go on any longer, calling the situation critical. So we'll have the full story on that. We'll also have new video of the dump truck in Barrhaven as it was speeding down the road and damaging vehicles. So join us tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
Wild one. All right. Thank you, Steph. And finally, for us tonight, I don't know if I know if you're a Swiftie or not.
Right up your alley.
Taylor Swift not taking much of a break after her record-breaking Eras tour. The singer announcing a new album overnight.
So I wanted to show you something.
Okay. What do we got?
We got,
A briefcase.
Yep.
Mint green with TS on it.
Yep.
What's in it?
This is my brand new album, The Life of a Showgirl.
Okay, I think maybe Jason Kelsey's face is the best part of all of this. As Swift shares the news on her boyfriend Travis Kelsey's podcast, which is co-hosted by brother Jason, rumors had been swirling after Taylor started posting some cryptic messages on social media. There's always rumors. The Life of a Showgirl will be Swift's 12th studio album. So she made the announcement at 12/12. Because she loves that numbers thing, on the 12th of August. No official release date has yet been issued. We're hearing maybe October.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's been busy, though. Like, she's been touring. Made, like, what, $2.2 billion over the last
Writing,
5 or 6 years?
Socializing,
and now more
skating,
music.
Going to see other sporting events.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dating.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like someone else I know. You can do it all. So look forward to that. I mean, she is so prolific as a songwriter, and there is always an appetite for her new music, no matter what they're saying in the control room. So a lot of people will
You're
be
my
looking
favorite
forward
Swiftie,
to that.
Patricia.
Thanks, Steph.